his stats don't lie. He was unbelievable last year. Unbelievable.
Maniac comes out, gets himself a red card. What was it, within the first 10 minutes?
But I think after this season, he's finally going to get the respect he deserves.
This was not meant to happen. This could not happen. This is
happening. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of The Coach's Son. We've just got the two of us here today. The big fella is run off. We didn't want him. Doesn't bring the value as he has done in the past. So we thought, you know what, have a week off, come back bigger, better, stronger the week after. Just me and Adam here today. Adam, how are you?
You're doing good, doing good. Yeah, I think you'd be right, eh? They say when kids come into the picture, things change. I think they have with your brother.
Why should that stop you from doing a podcast?
I would have brought him on.
If there's a baby, yeah, that's right. There's a screaming baby in the background. Deal with it.
Sympathy.
People understand.
More views.
Put the baby outside. That's my nephew we're talking about.
It is a good boy. Love him so much.
We did see the big fella on the weekend, though. We did all get together. If you had listened to our last episode, we got together, watched Goal Rush, which we do a couple of times throughout the season. We try to do it more often than not, especially during before the daylight saving starts over here. We get the 9:30 game in, and then the Goal Rush is at midnight. So got to see your lovely face, Adam, and the big fella.
Indeed. There's nothing better than getting in a room with your mates, couple drinks, get a bit of food, someone hosts. Even better when you're the guest and you don't have to cook and you eat their food. You're just watching football for a stupid amount of hours, and you got fantasy on, and your team's doing well, and it's just no better. It is, honestly, it's unreal. We don't do it enough, but we try to do it as much as possible. But you know, families, this and that, we try to do as much as we can.
Kids, they'll understand if we're not there.
Exactly.
But like you said, when you're not hosting and the other person is doing everything and you're just sitting there drinking, eating, it's the best. And then the football starts.
Easy. Exactly.
It is a long day, but...
That's it. Oh, 100%.
We're together for like 12 hours. So
100%.
I was a bit sick of you at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes, we did see a couple of good games over the weekend, which was nice. A couple of big games that happened. Obviously, there was the Merseyside Derby, which was the 9:30 game over here in Australia.
Yep.
Couple of Goal Rush games, including our boys Spurs, 2-2 draw there. Obviously, United got the win against Chelsea in the later kickoff, and then to finish up the round, we had two of the best teams in the league, Arsenal and Man City. Adam, thoughts on the round? Anything stand out to you, mate?
No, as you'd mentioned, first game, obviously, very lucky. It's when everyone's alert and awake, right? The 9:30 game. The first half was quite entertaining. Liverpool sort of showed up, and then, as we've been doing every year, just slackened off a bit in the second half. But Everton showed up. It was a pretty good game towards the end, a bit exciting. But yeah, we snuck away with a 2-1 win. And then, of course, our favourite segment, Goal Rush. I'd have to say that the Spurs game obviously was the standout in that one, right? It was, you guys were behind, obviously, by 2. Managed to bring on some creative subs. Potentially could have been earlier, or maybe brought him on at the right time. Xavi Simons, what a player. He's a good player. Good signing, man. Very good signing. I think he came on and changed the game.
Just the way he moves. You know he's a baller. Just the way he moves, the way he turns, the way he picks up the ball and runs at defenders. He's unreal. I love it. I don't know why. I just feel like he's going to Real Madrid in a couple of years. He's doing Modric. We know when Modric came to Spurs, right? This is we're talking 10 years ago now, more. He was starting off the left a bit, or starting just behind the striker. He was tiny, just like Xavi Simons is. What? Give him I wouldn't even give him a couple of months. Give him a year. Obviously, he's an unbelievable talent now. Don't get me wrong, he's unbelievable. And we need him. He's the most creative spark. Him and Mohamed Kudus. But wait till he gets a feel for the Premier League. I think he could be really damaging in the future. And obviously, you touched on Everton as well. I mean, they've been good all year, to be fair. So we kind of expected them to give Liverpool a run for their money. It would be different, though, for Liverpool, actually being ahead this time. And then, try not to concede that equaliser rather than score in the last minute.
Yeah. But you know what? I think going back to Simmons, I think there's a couple of players that come into the Premier League and maybe if we're talking too soon, but some necessarily just glide right in perfectly and don't necessarily have to get a feel of the league to make a big impact. And he sort of feels like he might be one of those players. And I think maybe the other one is Hugo Ekitike that's hit the ground running. There's been a couple big names that have come into the league that I think that are struggling still a little bit. You know, your Gyökeres's, your Sesko's, and that could inevitably be the team that are surrounding them. But there's a couple of key players that you just automatically click and you see and you're like, wow. It's like it's exciting when they're on the ball.
Yeah, 100%. But the one that I think of right when I compare him to anyone is Wirtz, because they're playing a similar position.
Yeah.
But Wirtz is unbelievable, right? Last couple of years, been unbelievable for Germany, for Leverkusen. But he's coming to a team that's got the guy on his right that just won Premier League Player of the Year. Was second top goal scorer. Ekitike's, like I said, hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Like he's coming to the Premier League champions. So it's hard to make your mark when the team's already at that level. But I think he'll get there eventually. It's a bit he started on the bench, didn't he, on the weekend?
Which might have been probably the right move if you're the manager after those recent performances. But it's almost there's too much talent there that it's never going to happen. It's almost a bit unfortunate too that comes with that big price tag, but that's just how things are. But you had mentioned that's the limelight's maybe not on him too much because of the team that he's come into and the stardom that's already there. But Isak's going to have that thing too. So I think just over time and gradually, working towards the later parts of the season, and you'll say, his time will come.
He hasn't had to be that, shining light. They've won every single game. They won again this morning. That's 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
Imagine if I actually saw a video today of a Liverpool supporter saying, not shaving my head until Liverpool win 5 games in a row. 5 games into the season, he's already shaved his head. Fucking unbelievable.
I do want to make that comparison now as I quickly look it up.
What, the shaving head? That guy in the Man United guy?
It was because the comparison that some people are sort of making now is how many Leverkusen were that team also that had so many late winners as well. Like Liverpool sort of tend to doing now when they won the league. And I'm curious to see how many late winners that they actually had in that league. It was unbelievable because they went on and it sort of happened. So here you go. So since the 2023-24 season, Leverkusen have scored about 20 goals in 90-plus minutes.
Oh, wow. 20 goals.
That's unbelievable.
That is crazy.
Hey, Liverpool's the quarter way through. We're at 5 or 6 at the moment.
That's right. Liverpool's got 21 already after 6 games.
Yeah.
Our big fan of the pod, Ange Postecoglou, still hasn't got his Premier League win just yet. 1-1 with Burnley. West Ham still struggling at home. 2-1 to Palace. Wolves rock bottom without a win, without a point, to be fair. Manchester United. Wow. Honestly.
That was a game, wasn't it? Jeez.
I heard Wayne Rooney the other day was like, he saw Chelsea get the red card and he was nervous. He was nervous because what if they didn't go on and win?
Can you imagine?
Imagine if they didn't go on and win that. But they did. They snuck through. Would have been a bit scared at the end there after Chelsea got one back. But ultimately they got the win, which is the most important thing. And obviously they'll be wanting to kick on. And then, Villa still struggling. 1-1. Still without a win. Yeah, I think they've got a decent run of fixtures next 2 games that I've just seen. So I think they'll pick up a win here or there. So they should push away.
You'd hope so. You'd hope so. God, no one, I think, would have expected it within the first 5 games that they'd be in the position that they're in.
No
and
way.
they don't have a bad team. I don't understand what's not working there. I think Emery even came out and blasted them a little bit for not trying hard enough, which is crazy to say, right? Played in the Premier League, but it just hasn't gelled for them this year. So we're going to have to see what happens the next couple of games. But you can't jump to conclusions too far with 5 games in. But if you jump back to that United game quickly, and if anyone that might have listened to the last episode of the podcast, we started a new segment and brought in some predictions. And I actually said that game would have finished 2-2 and Garnacho would have scored the winner. Because of circumstances out of my control, unfortunately. Sanchez, maniac, comes out, gets himself a red card. What was it, within the first 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Takes out Mbeumo. And Neto is subbed off as a tactical change. And the game was just not even gone from there because, what was it, maybe 30 minutes later, and Casemiro found himself with a second yellow and got sent off as well. And Chelsea obviously pulled one back, and maybe the game was too far gone by then. They obviously had a goal disallowed too, and unfortunately Garnacho didn't make his way onto the field at all. So there was my prediction was gone. But the conditions were also disgusting. The weather in that game was horrible. Anyone that watched it, it was terrible.
Chelsea had to make 3 subs in the first 20 minutes of the game. Palmer went off injured. They made 2 changes once Sanchez got the red card. Obviously, one being had to bring a replacement goalkeeper on. So they used quite a lot of their attacking players in the first half, really. But I guess if you're chasing a goal, if you've got anyone else on the bench, you'll think you'd throw Garnacho on there as well. But that obviously didn't happen.
I think you have to agree with Oresca in the comments that he made after the game about Sanchez being sent off. It's almost like just avoid a red card and go down 1-0 instead of going down to 10 men so early in the game in such a big fixture, So, yeah, just a moment of chaos, and I think last-minute decision threw him off. And
it's hard at the moment. You would know.
100%. Just gave me PTSD.
We saw Arsenal clinch a 93rd minute equaliser against Manchester City. I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game myself, but all reports say that City did sit back quite a bit during this fixture, which is different to see for a Pep Guardiola side. Maybe he's evolving.
Yeah, you're definitely... I'm in the same boat as you. I did not watch the game because, as we had mentioned, in Australia, there are stupid hours, these games, and this was on 5 a.m. on Monday morning, I think it was. But, we woke up to fantastic FPL points from Haaland, so I'll take that. And Ryan was... But yeah, Arsenal, they snuck in and they got that late winner. As you had mentioned, City obviously sat back a fair bit and Arsenal just didn't take their chances. I think if you look at it, Donnarumma maybe could have been somewhat of an error coming off his line, maybe too much for that goal. It would look, you can't take away from the finish because it was great. But something so late in the game, you'd think they'd be a bit more cautious, especially the ball over the top.
That's right. That's what I was thinking. When I'm watching the highlights and I'm listening to commentary saying how Man City's sat back for a lot of the game, but yet they found out with the long ball over the top, which, I don't think Pep will be too happy about that. But look, he's doing what he can to win the game, right? We saw them concede so many goals last year. Yeah. Man City conceded so many goals, so it doesn't surprise me that, they're playing what has been the second best team in the Premier League for the last 3 years, so one of the best teams in the Premier League. Yeah. They're in a rebuilding stage. They want to do whatever they can to win, and they obviously just fell short. If they held out for another couple of minutes, they would have got those very important 3 points. Yeah. But it's also a very important point for Arsenal. But with all those results, Liverpool sit pretty up the top.
For now, 5 points clear. 5 points clear. The league is so unpredictable nowadays that with these big teams, though, you can't rule out a draw going into these games. Like, I think on, like, what was it, the betting odds that Arsenal were clear favourites in this game, right? But sometimes it's going into it, it's unpredictable because you don't know what on the day. And obviously, City was winning for 99% of the game. So it is very unpredictable and you just don't know what's going to happen. But you're right. I think they'll both maybe be content with a point as much as City was almost there. And yeah, Arsenal would definitely take a point over nothing. So I think they'd both probably just be content with getting that game over and done with and moving on now.
Yeah, I think at the start of the game, Arsenal would have been thinking we need 3 points here. We're 6 points behind Liverpool. We can't slip further behind. But obviously, as the game goes on, obviously things happen and before behind so early against, let's face it, it's Manchester City. Before last year, they had won 4 or 5 in a row. So overall, probably not the worst result. All right.
Yeah, we can move on from, or let's move on to, we had the Ballon d'Or that was just recently happened.
We did have the Ballon d'Or overnight. Was it overnight or was it the night before? I don't even know anymore. My days
I think 2 nights ago.
Heavily dominated by one team in particular. Obviously, we saw Ousmane Dembele get the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Luis Enrique got Coach of the Year. PSG got Club of the Year. There was 7 PSG players made the top 12 or 14, which is a crazy
5 in the top
number.
10.
But when you think about it, they were the best team over the course of last season.
Yeah.
So really no surprise there. And I'm just going to, since we're on the Ballon d'Or, I'm going to put my Coach of Some nomination out here nice and early because, as we just mentioned, PSG dominated the awards. However, only one man was there because their team was playing at exactly the same time the Ballon d'Or awards were on. And the game was rescheduled. So the game was postponed. It was meant to be the day before, postponed due to bad weather. Why would you not postpone it to the day after the Ballon d'Or awards? Literally, the whole team would have been there. If the game wasn't scheduled. So coach wasn't there to go pick up his award. Half the team that were in the, like I said, in the top 14 weren't there. So they probably know who was going to win the award. To be fair, he's been the best player. They weren't there to support the guy that basically, was so influential in their season, winning the Champions League, winning the league, winning everything. So I thought that was a bit disappointing. And my Coach of Some nomination is the French League on for their stupid rescheduling of the game the night of the Ballon d'Or. But it was thank you. Looking at the top 30. Yeah, sorry, Adam.
You're right. I was just, something that caught my eye was Donnarumma obviously he won, as you'd mentioned, the goalkeeping award. But he also made it to the top 10 of players. And that generally doesn't happen too often. And I was actually just looking it up now, how many times goalkeepers have made it in the top 10 for the Ballon d'Or. And it has actually only happened 5 other times, sorry. Lev Yassin, I think it's how you pronounce his name, in 1963.
Yashin.
Dino Zoff, 1973.
Surely yes.
Gianluigi Buffon.
Oh, yes.
In 2006, who came second. Manuel Neuer came third in 2014. And I can't even say it, I'm Italian. Gianluigi Donnarumma came ninth in 2025. So 5 in total. Yeah, you'd think Casillas, he was a big player back in the day. Big player.
Yeah, but I guess so many superstars around him as well.
Yeah.
So hard to
you kind of just rule out goalkeeper. You kind of rule out defenders and goalkeepers quite often 100%. For these type of awards, right?
100%, because there's 2 defenders that I can see in there, and the rest are all attacking players. So
I think Cannavaro's the only defender who's won the Ballon d'Or.
Mm-hmm.
He's Italian. Sensation.
Sensational. Adam, we were talking about it before. One of your favourite players, McAllister. Cracked the top 30 there.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Not, I would say surprised. Did have a really good season last year, but you mentioned before, like there's so many good players that you maybe could have gone through this list and that would have got left out.
Yeah.
But I
Especially in
think
the Premier
impressive,
League.
right? 100%. 100%.
There's
There were a lot of
nobody
good
in the
players.
top 15. If not, I think there's only the one, which was Cole Palmer, which we don't know how. Oh, sorry, we had Mo Salah, which I do want to touch on soon. Those two were in the top 15. The rest that were from the Premier League were way down the list, which is a little bit surprising considering a lot of us consider the Premier League to be the best league in the world.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my next topic of Mohamed Salah. And I know me and especially James give this bloke a lot of shit on this podcast.
Yeah.
However, his stats don't lie. He was unbelievable last year. Unbelievable. Liverpool won the league. He won all the individual awards in the Premier League. How is this bloke? I don't even think he was in the picture. It was always Lamar, Vitinha, Rafinha. For me, Salah should have been second. That's my personal opinion. I don't mind Dembele being first, especially with them winning the Champions League. And obviously, I'm pretty sure they won their treble as well, which is probably not as hard to do. However, I think Mo Salah is overlooked too often for these awards.
It's so hard because like the criteria is so like precise for you to go and win this award, right? Like, yeah, you can't take away from Dembele or even like Rafinha and stuff, but like, what do you have to do to necessarily win it? Obviously, Egypt is never going to win a World Cup, right? Or Liverpool obviously didn't do great. I wouldn't say never. I would never say never, but you know, there's so many like top nations out there, and then Champions League
that's the big
it's
one.
unpredictable, right? That's the massive one where Liverpool, obviously PSG knocked him out. That's the other hard one. But if you're looking at personal stats and how he's done in the league, 34 goals and 23 assists in all competitions. He obviously won most goals and most assists in the Premier League season last year. So he is at times, you know, you're still happy to see him potentially in the top 5. But how much more can a guy do to be recognised for a top award? And especially at his age now, if you're already racking up those numbers, you don't know how much longer that can actually happen.
That's right. I don't think we'll see him in the top 5 and top 10 again, to be fair. Especially Liverpool is, at the moment, they're building a team of
that's
superstars,
the other thing.
right?
Exactly.
And it's not all going to be reliant on him anymore.
No,
so.
and there's a long way to go, but he hasn't started as strong as you would normally think he has, or normally would, sorry. So you're going to have to wait and see, but I think you are right in saying that this might have been his one opportunity, but in the same time, you can't take away from the top 3. Maybe I'd probably swap him with Vitinha. Maybe I would say top 3. But those you can't take away from the PSG or Barcelona players this year too, though. They all had good seasons.
Yeah, for sure. And top 3 is so important, right? You see the photo of top 3 going up, taking the photos and all that, you know?
Yeah.
And it would have been nice to see a Premier League player up there again. It's been a long time. So.
Yeah, I think Salah actually didn't even attend the awards from what I saw. Maybe just knew that it was, that it was something they obviously knew that wasn't going to happen. So, yeah.
And our man again, Harry Kane, for me again, disrespected. Honestly, since we did the episode last week, all I have seen on my Instagram reels on Facebook is people actually giving so much more respect to Harry Kane. And I don't want to say it was all because of us last week. Obviously, we've rated him so highly for so long. But I think after this season, he's finally going to get the respect he deserves.
I think so. We like you'd mentioned, we had a good response to that video that we put out just after our episode last week, and you're right. And you know what? Even after we put out that episode, he scored 5 goals since in a week.
Yeah.
So
literally,
you could say it's the league, but he's the most consistent striker that possibly is at the moment. Surely. And I did see, we had mentioned before, right at the end, I made a comment saying you'd love to see him finish in the Premier League. And Thomas Frank actually came out in a press conference now, someone asked him the question, would you take Harry back if he came back? And he's just didn't even hesitate. He said, if Harry feels like he wants to come back, he's always welcome back. So you heard it first from the man himself. So I think
I've seen links to Barca.
He, depends if he wants to, experiment in another league or not. But obviously, I think these contracts to 27. So, but I don't think he'd run that out if they intend to also make money back for him. But I don't see him going anywhere else besides Spurs if he wants to have that fairy tale ending. And I think it would be awesome to have him back.
You're right. Not to the Premier League, any other Premier League club. It wouldn't surprise me if he, like, Lewandowski's, he's moving on. He's getting old.
Yeah.
It's almost a like-for-like replacement Harry Kane going to Barcelona. He's going to score goals wherever he goes.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens anyway in the future with him.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty. Let's have a look at the some of the fixtures coming up this weekend. More, not as many exciting ones. The one that really stands out for me, though, I like this fixture over the last couple of years because there's been so much controversy with this Newcastle Arsenal game.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was two goals in one game, or there was one goal in two games where the ball went out or it didn't go out, or there was a foul, there was no foul. Yeah. So I think if there's two games that Newcastle's really going to let's just take away the derby with Sunderland, any other team in the Premier League, Liverpool now over not just Isaac, but Liverpool's been scoring last-minute winners against them for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But, that controversy with Arsenal. So, that's going to be a really exciting game to look out for. Of course, it's at a dog shit time over here in Australia, 1:30 Monday morning.
Yeah.
So we'll try and make some time to watch that one if we can. What do you think? Anything else?
I think if you're refereeing that Newcastle-Arsenal game, you're going to be stressed out for 90 minutes, to be fair.
Yeah.
But no, that's an exciting fixture because I think Newcastle's just starting to find their feet a little bit, and obviously Arsenal, as strong as they are, undoubtedly probably the best defense in the league. So Newcastle's got a tough game on their hands, but I think they've got the strong force up front too, especially bringing in new players, and I think that's an exciting fixture. So we're going to have to see with that one.
Looking at the fixtures, there's only probably two games that stand out, that two teams that should be winning. And I say should because Spurs worry me because they're versing Wolves, who have not got a point yet. So they love to hand teams their first point or even their first win. We did that twice last year. So Spurs should win, probably won't. And Man City at home to Burnley. The rest of them, that's 8 games where I'm like, could go either way. And then even obviously the Palace-Liverpool game, Palace at home is going to be pretty tricky.
You know what it is as well for Ange at Forest, that last week, this week, really were the two games that you would have hoped that he would have taken 6 points from, right? I think they'd be
nervous.
They'd be a little bit cut up with those, especially last week's result. But they definitely need to go and try find 3 points at this game against Sunderland. You're right against the Burnley game. You never know what can happen up with City. Burnley know how to take a point. So I think depending on how they're going to play, and there's reports out that obviously Haaland is 50-50 for this game, and City have been relying on him a fair bit over the last couple of fixtures. And you mentioned Wolves. Wolves actually got a win this morning against Everton, so they'll be coming off a high. So I think that'd be an exciting game for you guys too. I think you guys just need to seal it off nice and early. Try to.
Oh, yeah,
try to.
I'm surprised that Chelsea Brighton, that's a decent fixture.
Yeah.
And obviously Crystal Palace Liverpool is also a decent fixture. I'm surprised those two are in that 3 o'clock over there in England, midnight games here. I'm surprised they're not standalone games, to be fair.
Well, the last 2 times we versed Crystal Palace, Liverpool's lost. So it's we're gonna have to see how we go with this one. You know, they've obviously sold a couple of players and we brought in Powerhouse, but we're gonna have to see how he goes. And there's this big debate, obviously, at the moment who he starts over Isak and Ekatike, but Ekatike went and made that decision for him this morning after he got sent off. He got sent off, so it looks like Isak is going to be starting against Palace. And unless Federico Chiesa had a really good game this morning, got man of the match, he managed to start up front. Who knows if Isak's still not ready to start a game? So
Isak's starting up front this week.
We'll see.
100%.
He should be.
Do we bring him in? This week? One more week.
There were a lot of people that brought him in last week and jumped the gun. So
yeah, last week was way too early.
Yeah, way too early. Too many speculations. Even the media could have told you that one. That's a way. Be patient.
He has to start.
Be patient.
Yeah. He has to start.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're going to have to see how we go. How are you doing in fantasy, Steve?
Look, if we're talking about our coach... we've got to give a shout out, by the way. Who is... Have a look. Let us know why you're finding that. I believe I am still in the top 50. I had a draw last week. So, look,
did you have a draw?
Okay. Yes, I did.
I had a draw 2 weeks ago. I think I had a draw.
So, I think us three boys are doing okay.
So, there is a person, I'm not going to mention his name, but his FPL name is Truth Ordeal FC.
Okay.
Maybe that's something personal to him or something, but I don't understand where that name's coming from. But
he's
obviously on top. Obviously is. I find myself in the top 15 in our competition, so we'll take it.
I think James is up there too, to be fair. I think he might be 10th.
Yeah.
Just outside the top 8. We need to post that, by the way.
In very tactical over the last couple of weeks, so I think I need to maintain that. And I think everyone does. You've got some heavy hitters that have been getting some really good points, especially the defensive contributions are ticking in this year, and I think people are making the most of that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I was looking at my team today. I'm like, I could take him out. But he's been picking up the 2 extra points every single game. Like, why would I take him out? And he's cheap as chips.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's exciting fantasy this year. Exactly.
Quite a few undefeated teams, so which is nice.
Not for long.
Not for long.
I'm coming.
Until you beat them, of course. I was listening to another podcast, Spurs podcast, today actually, and they've got thousands of followers on Spotify and all that, and I'm listening, and then it just cut out for 30 seconds. A minute, I'm like, maybe my phone's just effed up or something, Go to have a look. No, it's still playing. Someone had themselves on mute, like the host had themselves on mute, right? And was obviously talking for like a minute, but none of the other blokes had the heart to say,
that's brutal.
I think I can't hear you, mate. And then another guy was like, yeah, man, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Like after 30 seconds at least.
That's brutal. So I didn't take it out in the cut.
It's good
quality. That's hilarious.
Content. That's why we keep all the stuff in here. So whoever says we're unprofessional, go back and listen to all the others, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Top of the bunch.
We would have been banned if we kept up the stuff in here.
Adam, did you have a Coach of Sun nomination?
I just have to go with Sanchez. I think it was bizarre, bit wild, especially in those weather conditions. But, it was one of those last-minute decision-making errors, and it just happened to change the whole context of the game right from the beginning. Yeah. So, Robert Sanchez for Chelsea is my Coach of Sun nomination.
Very nice. Yep. Might have to get James's, and then maybe we can give a little post.
How about you, Steve? Oh, you had the whole French league.
French league.
The whole French league.
Just do better. Seriously. Seriously. Like, your whole team should be there. They're all in the top 15. Your coach got Coach of the Year. Your club got Club of the Year. Your best player won the Ballon d'Or, and he was the only bloke there. It's just unbelievable.
It is. It is.
Do better.
You got a quick bold prediction for a game this weekend?
But not for I was going to say Palace to get some sort of result, but I don't even know if that's bold. To be fair, Palace are a good team.
Doesn't even have to be bold.
Okay, all right. a red card in the Newcastle Arsenal game.
Ooh, I like it. Something's got to happen in that.
Tell it back. Red cards a bit too much. Five or more cards. 5 or more cards. So obviously yellow cards.
I've got 5 or more red cards over the whole weekend.
Oh, wow.
There was three that just happened this weekend, so let's see if they can top it.
5 is a lot.
It's a lot.
5 is a lot.
It's a lot.
Hey, you be bold, you be brave, you be beautiful. I think this is where this is where we might
we part ways. Let's do it.
Adam,
thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a fantastic 35 minutes. Love being here with you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on all socials. We'll be back again next week. You should tune in and let us know your predictions for this week.
When we tune in.
When you tune in and keep giving that FPL content. Do better. Be nice to someone. Take care.